All right, let's talk about something that drives us all crazy. How do you make the stuff you study actually stick? Today, we're going to break down a really powerful framework called the ADC method. Think of it as a complete system designed to help you learn way more effectively, so you can finally stop spinning your wheels and start studying smarter, not harder. Let's just dive right in.
Okay, first things first, let me ask you a question. How do you really feel after you've been studying for a while? Do you feel like you're actually learning? Or does it kind of feel like you're fighting some invisible force that's just sabotaging every single thing you do? Well, it turns out there are a few common monsters that might be lurking in your study sessions.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You spend an hour with a book, your eyes scan every single word on the page, but the second you look away, poof, it's gone. Your mind is just a total blank. That, my friends, is the trap of passive learning, and it's the perfect place for these study monsters to hide.
So which one of these sounds a little too real for you? Are you the zombie reader, just kind of letting your eyes glaze over the words? Or maybe you're the amnesiac, who has to reread the same paragraph like 5 times. Or hey, maybe you're the distracted reader, where every little notification pulls you away. Then there's the turtle, who's so slow it feels like you're getting nowhere. And of course, the scariest of all, the amalgam, which is just a big mess of all of them. But look, here's the good news. When you can name your monster, you can finally start to fight back.
And don't worry, every good monster story needs a hero to save the day. And in our story, the hero is this smarter study method. We're about to get into the ADC framework, which is a system built on 3 key ideas. It's active, so your brain is always in the game. It's flexible, so you can use it for literally any subject. And it's scientific, because it's based on how our brains actually learn.
Now, this is where it gets really cool. The real power of the ADC method is that it's not just some random tip or trick. It's a complete end-to-end system. It's sequential, so it gives you these clear, easy-to-follow steps that take you all the way from seeing something for the first time to locking it into your long-term memory. It is a total game changer. Okay, so at the heart of this whole thing is a 6-step cycle with a, let's be honest, a kind of weird acronym, PACRAR. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful, but the steps themselves? Super straightforward. You plan, you acquire, you comprehend, you rework, you apply, and then you recall. See? Each step just builds on the one before it, creating this foolproof loop for learning that leaves nothing to chance.
And this right here perfectly explains one of the most important scientific ideas behind the method. On one side, you've got cramming, those massive, stressful, caffeine-fueled all-nighters. On the other side, you've got spacing. This is all about small, consistent sessions that build up your knowledge over time. Look, cramming might get you through a test tomorrow, but spacing, that's how you actually learn something for life.
All right, so theory's great and all, but how do we actually use this stuff? Let's zoom in on that acquire step and talk about how to turn reading from a boring chore into an active, engaging hunt for information.
This is the big question, isn't it? How do you stop being a zombie reader and become an active, engaged learner? Well, the secret isn't about reading more or reading faster. It's about completely changing how you approach the text in the first place. It's a deliberate choice you make before you even read the first word.
And here are 4 simple, super actionable steps to do it. First, you just skim and scan to get a quick feel for what you're about to read. Second, ask yourself some questions about it. This basically gives your brain a mission. Third, and this might sound a little silly, but trust me, use an indicator, like your finger or a pen, to guide your eyes. It's an amazing trick for staying focused. And finally, this one is crucial. Isolate single powerful keywords. Stop highlighting entire sentences. And this quote just nails it. Why are keywords so important? Because they're not just words. They're like little hooks for your memory. Think about it. Each keyword is a tiny, compressed file of information. When you grab that one word, your brain can unpack the entire concept connected to it. It's all about working smart, with precision, not just brute force.
This is where we go from just copying down information to actually understanding it. So forget about writing out those long, goring summaries. The goal here is to create a schema, a visual map, like a little mind map, of the main ideas using those keywords you found. It's way faster to build, it's an active process that engages your brain, and it's so much more effective when you need to remember stuff later.
Okay, so you've actively read your stuff, you've built your awesome schemas, that's a huge win. But how do you make sure all that great work doesn't just evaporate in a week? Well, now we get to the final most important part, making it stick for good.
Let's be real for a second. The biggest enemy of your memory isn't how hard a topic is, it's just time.
Our brains are literally built to forget things we don't use. It's a feature, not a bug. So the only way to fight this natural process isn't to study harder, but to review smarter. And that means having a plan, a strategic schedule for repetition.
And here is that exact schedule, your secret weapon against the forgetting curve. You review everything just 1 hour after you learn it. Then you do it again a day later, then again after 3 days, then 1 week, and finally 1 month later. This method, called spaced repetition, is the scientifically proven way to tell your brain, hey, this is important, and move that information from your fragile short-term memory into permanent storage.
When you get right down to it, this is the whole philosophy. The ADC method is all about playing the long game. It treats learning like you're training for a marathon, not a desperate last-minute sprint. The goal is to build your knowledge steadily, consistently, so you have the strength and stamina to cross any finish line without totally burning out.
So as we wrap up, let's make this practical. You don't have to go out and adopt this entire system tomorrow. That's overwhelming. Just pick one thing. What's the one small habit you can change today? Are you going to start using your finger when you read? Are you going to try making just one schema instead of a summary? Or maybe you'll just schedule that first 1-hour review. Whatever it is, pick that one small thing and start your journey to becoming a smarter, more confident learner right now.